Today's video is going with 9-1 in your math journals. So we're looking at pages 220, 221, and 222. Now today we're going to start working with fractions, which can be really fun. But there's a few things I need to tell you about before you can get started. So the first thing I want to do is talk about equal parts. And this is really important because when we're talking about fractions, we divide a shape into equal parts. So for example, I have my circle here. If I asked you to divide this into two equal parts, and I drew a line like this, what do you notice? I notice that this side is much smaller than this side. So these would not be equal parts. Let's try another way. Now, what if I tried to draw a line right down the middle? Now, if I do it correctly, then these are two equal parts. I have one part here, two parts here, and they should be the same size. Let's try it with a different shape. So let's say I have this rectangle, and I need to divide it into three equal parts. If I do this, this, and this, do these look like three equal parts to you? I think that this part looks much smaller than the other two. And this one is probably the biggest out of the three. So this would not be an example of equal parts. Now, if I try it again, and I tried to break it into three equal parts, this will be a little bit tricky, but I'll do my best. You should be able to tell that each part is about the same size. And that way you've known that you've done equal parts. Now this is sort of a skinny rectangle, but you could break them into parts this way. I could also try and break it into two parts this way. And as long as the top and the bottom are the same size, then I have done two equal parts. So when your journal pages 220 and 221 ask you to do equal parts, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you try and make them as close to the same size as you can. All right, now we're going to look at how we name a fraction. So I'm going to start with my rectangle, and I'm going to break it into, let's say, two parts. Now, right now, if I'm just looking at the parts of my rectangle, I have 1, 2. And I bet you've seen how a fraction looks. We have a line, and we have a number on top and a number on the bottom. Now, the number on the bottom is the total number of parts that your shape is broken into. So my shape is broken into 2 parts. Now your top number, that's going to be how many parts are shaded in. So this is the number of parts that will be shaded in. So if I go back to my rectangle, and I want to shade in just that part, I would label that as 1 out of my 2 parts is shaded in. Now, what if I did the whole thing? Now I have 2 of my 2 parts shaded in. Here's a tricky one. What if I don't have any parts shaded? How might I write that as a fraction? Well, you can use zeros in fractions as well. So I would say 0 out of 2 parts have been shaded in. Let's try that with another one. This time I'll use a circle. And I'm going to break it into 5 parts. So the first thing I know is that when I write this as a fraction, I'm going to count how many parts total and put that on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my bottom number is going to be a 5. Now let's shade in some parts. So I'm going to shade in that many. How many parts did I shade in? Let's see. I did 1, 2. So I would write this fraction as 2 over 5, or 2/5 of my fractions are shaded in. What if I did another one? This time, I've shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of my circle, so my fraction would be 4 out of 5, or 4/5. Now remember, it's okay if you have your whole shape shaded in. This would be 5/5, or 5 out of 5. And it's also okay, if none of them are shaded in. And you would just write that as 0 out of 5. So when you work on your math journal, pages 220 and 221, think about, how do I break that shape into equal parts? And then how would I write that shape? So when it says write a name for one part, we'll use this one as an example. One part means just one of those pieces. So if I were to write a name for that on this circle, it would say 1 out of 5, or 1/5. Okay? When it says write a name for all of the parts together, that's when you have your whole shape filled in. So in this example, it would be 5 out of 5. Okay? So again, write a name for one part. In this example, it would be 1 out of the 5. And write a name for all the parts. In this example, it would be 5 out of 5. All right, have fun exploring those fractions.